What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's beautiful project. This is our competition entry Dodge Charger. You can see we got some wide bodies kit going on there, just a little bit wider. We got a selection of bonus parts to go in there today, along with this little bit here, just to cover up that drive shaft. There is a rear bench to go in there. Just covers it up from the inside. I don't think we'll be able to use any of the performance ones today, unless I lift that up maybe a little bit. But these, unfortunately, I can't get them in to get them out to show you them, which means they are going to be body coloured later. So I may have to adjust that anyway. We shall see. But as you can see, we've got some custom piping coming out of that intake there on the engine. Looking cool. There are some bonus part filters to go on the end there. And this one also has got a custom exhaust, as well as, you know, all the other normal body modifications with a few other bonus parts on there for good measure. So this is the project today. Let's get in and let's take a look. We've gone for VM SRT Black Badge Edition. All the badges are black on this one as well. We got it from the auction house. It's available from all of the places. R1, this particular version, is available from the salon as well. The other versions, I do believe, are not, or at least most of them aren't. We got it from the auction house. It's in pretty bad condition. We've definitely seen a lot better, but we've definitely seen a lot worse. But did we get a good deal for it? No, of course we didn't. 39,689 is what I paid, and I could sell it right now for 38,419. So not too far off, only 1,270. And you've already seen that engine, but the engine in there is the V8 double overhead cam supercharged engine, pumping out 766 factory horsepower. A little bit wild, a little bit insane, and I absolutely love it, and I'm here for it. So don't forget to go over and vote for your favourite on the official Red Dot Games Discord server on the competitions tab. By the time you see this video, you may just have a couple of hours left to vote for your favourite before we announce the winner and move on to the next competition. So get over there, take part. Links on screen and in the description below. Obviously, you won't be able to take part and enter. It'll be too late for that. But you may still be able to vote for your favourite and help decide who the winner of this wonderful competition is going to be. Will it be this creation? We'll stick around to the end and see what you think of this beautiful build. And don't forget to leave me a score out of 10 in the comments so we can get it added to our wonderful show car board. Where will it end up? You will decide. Let's find out. Let's get this one started. Let's get it into the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. She's in the car wash, looking very filthy. So let's get her cleaned and see what's underneath all of this dust and grime. Doesn't look like there's going to be too much rust, obviously a little bit, but we can sort all of that later out. And it is finished in a beautiful white. I do love a white colour with a blue steel door, but never mind. I do love a beautiful white, but definitely not what we're going to be going with today. So let's get the interior done. Let's get this beast onto the lifter, get that engine ripped out of there, and start stripping everything down. The Charger's in the air, and look at this. This is a new, beautiful pipe set available on Nexus Mods by Multiply. Absolutely beautiful. Lots and lots of pipes, so you can now go and fully create your own full custom exhaust. It is also how I did that pipe work in the engine bay. I think it all looks absolutely beautiful. Lovely work by Multiply there. Link in the description below if you want to grab that one. It's down at the bottom, along with the TKAftermarket and the Quality of Life mod. Now listed down there as well. But let's get in. We need to drain that oil, so off with that oil pan. Off with that oil pan. Let's drain that oil pan as it is there. Out you go. That's not the dirtiest, and, you know, there was enough of it to keep the engine running nicely, so that's always good to see. But now we need to jump in underneath and get started with this. Swing it around to the other side, and let's get started with the cheeky little starter. Out you come. Then we'll pull this drive shaft out of here. We will be using this one, not the performance one, depending on whether I go and move them plates on the inside, which I may very well do. They are bonus parts. But we are going to need to get out this front exhaust section as well. And obviously all of this pipe work, the only downside to it is it's only accessible from the engine bay. So when we come to put all the exhaust back in later, we'll have to go in from the top and do it from there. But it is what it is. It's just one of those things. There may be a fix for it later on. We shall find out. But anyway, that's the engine all dismantled for enough so far to pull it out. So let's go and grab our engine crane and see if we can get that engine pulled out of there. We're going to need to take all of that piping off first, or is that all just going to be floating? We'll find out in just a minute how that works. So let's get you pulled out. Out you go. Nice and easy. Should leave the piping floating. It does. So first thing we need to do is get into the engine bay and then get all of that piping out of there. Nice and simple. All custom placed. Very easy to do in the car editor if you've got this mod. But there we go. That's all the piping done. Now let's see what we've got going on in the engine bay. We've also got a radiator here. power steering reservoir here. The ABS pumper module, that's at a funny angle. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. Then we got a fuse box, ECU type A, wishy-washy reservoir, coolant reservoir, and a brake servo just there. And obviously down the back, we've got the fuel tank and fuel pump along with the battery setup all down there as well. And obviously I'm in the engine bay, so we could just get all of this exhaust out of here now, which I'm going to do. You don't have to do this right here. You'll be able to do it obviously at a later point. But let's just get it all out as it's here, nice and easy. Let's come back in just a second and let's get all the liquids drained out. There we go. That's all the exhaust out. Now time to drain these liquids. You know the drill by now. Right-click, additional tools, drain tool, and then click and hold on the container, and it will drain it all out. Nice and simple. There we go. We're going to get the rest of the engine bay all cleared, along with all the suspension, and then when we come back, it'll be time to start working on the bodywork for this beautiful Dodge Charger. It's got a little bit of a wide body kit on it. Nothing too extreme for this one, but you'll see it all in just a moment before we head over to the paint shop to check out my beautiful custom livery. That's all the mechanicals repaired, replaced, or upgraded. It is now time to work on this beautiful bodywork. So let's start stripping it all down. Off with the door, out with the fenders, off with that front end. Lots of stuff coming off with that front end there. And one cheeky little headlight just left behind. No windshield. Off with the doors on the other side. Now, this window is also this part of the fender flare. So when you take that one off, you need that wide body fender flare on there as well. So then out with the door. Rear bumper is also the rear fender flares. Going on around trunk, it should be the trunk and the center tail light with the rear window on there as well, and just a couple of tail lights out the back. No door on that side. That should be, oh no, fenders, side skirts. I almost forgot the side skirts. Let's get them off as well. And that should be everything for the bodywork. So let's get this interior out. We're not going to be sticking with the same front seats or steering wheel. We are going to be swapping all of that out. But the rear bench, if I just go into this mode, oh, there is no rear bench. Why is there no rear bench? There should be a rear bench in this car. Ah, now it's... Oh, car part 3. It's part of the bodywork. That's why I couldn't see it. The bench is part of the bodywork. I got really worried then. But anyway, that should be everything stripped out. Let's double check. 1% showing up on there and nothing showing up on there, indicating we have got everything nice and easily. Let's get the frame all sorted. Before we do that, though, I paid just under 40,000 for this one. And the frame is at 3%. So what do we reckon? I don't know. I think this is going to be quite high. I'm going to go with 3,000. 1,250. I was very, very, very wrong. Just while we're here, let's go and have a look at the full body shop for the Dodge Charger. There it is. There are 6 pages of parts for this one. I'm not going to go through absolutely everything. I'll just go through what we're going to be using for our build. Obviously, you've got multiple different exhaust tips. We're using just the rounded exhaust ones from the SRT8 model. I think we're going for the black tip ones there. Obviously, for the interior, we'll decide that when we come to the colour, but it'll probably be the black interior. As for the front bumper, I'm not actually sure which front bumper we're using, so we'll figure that one out. But as for the badge and grille, I think we're using this one here, the black badge for the SRT8. It's very fitting. We may be using a different one, though. I do like this one's got the badging on it. So we think we will be sticking with the badging. I think that's the one. I'm not sure. The rest of it, you know, you've got different colour interiors on here. It is all absolutely fantastic. We just need to get ours. I think it's the Hellcat style wide body we're going for. So we just want to make sure ours goes back together as it comes in. And we may even add some lovely halo lights onto these lights as well. Looking fantastic. But there is lots and lots of optional parts for this one. I've already got it designed how I want to design it, plus a few bonus parts. So let's get in. Let's start getting this beautiful body all back together. Once I've got some bits repaired that we're definitely going to need. Pretty much repaired everything that we already had for this beautiful car. So let's get on and start getting it back together. But before I jump into that, I have brought the height up of these bonus parts in here. But as you can see, even with the car fully stripped, we still can't get at them, which is a bit of a shame, which just means they're going to end up whichever base colour we use on the livery, because I can't get them out of there. Bit of a shame on that one, but never mind. Let's get this body all back together. Front left fenders, Hellcat style wide body. I did say it was going to be them. Do we have the other side? We don't. So add them to the shopping list. I don't think we have the hood. No. But we should have the front bumper, Hellcat style wide body. So that's the wide body option we've gone for, the Hellcat style. For the front end, it is the black badge. We've called it the black badge. We might as well stick with that black badge theme. And let's get a blank license plate just going on the front for the time being. We'll come back to the headlights a little bit later on. But I do have all the windows already bought. They're just the normal base windows on there. Apart from the rear body windows. We'll talk to them in a bit. Black interior for the door, and it should be the same. Oh, I don't have the rear door for this side, so we need to grab that one. Window in, though, and I do have just the normal mirrors on there. Did I fix the side skirts? I did. Hellcat style wide body, all fitting in very, very nicely. Come back to that door in a minute. Rear window. There's two options for the rear window. One with a police camera, one without. So obviously we've gone with the for the without one. Couldn't get my words out there. Hellcat style wide body rear bumper. Did we repair the trunk? We didn't, so I am going to need the trunk. But I do think I did manage to repair these tail lights. We're keeping them as they are. In you go and in you go. We may add some colour to them a little bit later on. Rear right door. We need a new one of them as well. Front door, though, absolutely fine. On there you go. And the mirror, no, we didn't have that mirror, but I do definitely have this window. So there we got everything added to the shopping list. I'm going to add that rear seat to it as well because we need it, and also the exhaust tip. So let's just go in and buy all the bits we need. Front right fender definitely needs you. The back doors, we need both of them, and a trunk as well. On you go. Rear right door, on you go. Then we should have right side mirror, and then car part 3 for the black interior, and car part 2B for the exhaust tips. Nice and simple. Let's get all of that on. Should be blacked out exhaust tips on there. It is nice and easy. Let's crack on. Trunk lid back on. Blank license plate just for the time being so we can see it's done. And then this black badged tail light. As you can see, we kept the black badge theme in there. And have I got this part? I don't think I do. So we need that part as well. Let's just go and get that now while we're here. Trunk tail light E. The tail light options, I believe, are the ones that have multiple spoilers. So if we go all the way down to the bottom, yeah, the tail light is where you can pick the spoiler option. I'm using a bonus part spoiler. We'll come to that one in just a minute. While there's no window, let's get the interior in there. Nice and simple. And then obviously our rear door. And then the windows, as I said, are that Hellcat style wide body fender flare on there. Looking nice. Round we go. On with you, and then we should be able to get this window in as well. Oh, I bought the wrong one, but I had both anyway. Did I get the side skirts? I did. Side skirt for the other side. I've already picked that one on. That's fine. And then we should be able to get this hood in. I never bought the hood. So we get the hood, and we're also going to sort out the headlights while we're here as well. Fender and mirror. Almost forgot them pieces. So let's go in and grab our hood. If we just look at the hood options, you can see there's carbon fiber and non-carbon fiber. I think we've gone for the SRT8 one. Let's just double check it. Hood. Yep, the SRT8. That's the one I thought we were going to go for. And why have I got that on there? I've already bought that, so never mind. The next piece we need to get is back in the shop. Wrong button, and is the headlights. Definitely going for some green halo in there today. Where's the other one? There it is. Let's get them in. In you go. And then on with these mean green headlights. Looking fantastic. Loving them. You'll see why we've gone for green once we get to the livery a little bit later on. You might have seen a sneak peek in the intro or on the thumbnail, but there we go. Let's crack on with that. That should be everything for the body. Now we just need to sort out this interior, and I already know which interior pieces I'm going for. So let's jump in. If we scroll all the way down to our lovely multiply bonus part seats, I'm going for these ones here, I believe. I think so. We're going for them ones there, and the steering wheel today. We're obviously going to go for our virtual mechanic steering wheel. Let's get all of that in and see how it looks as it stands at the moment. Obviously, we're going to add some colour to it a little bit later on, so it will all change and look a little bit different. But them seats fit nicely in there. I made sure of it while I was in the car editor, just so they don't clip or anything like that. Looking quite nicely. The seatbelt clips are on the right side and everything. And that steering wheel does fit on there. It's a little bit small, sort of on the base, but it does fit in there nonetheless. Looking quite good. That's it for that. I think that's everything. So let's double check. 100%, 100%, 100%. Just what we wanted. Let's get this beast into the paint shop and get that livery on it. I almost forgot, before we do the livery, we've got some bonus parts to go on. So let's get them on. Obviously, you've seen the two in the back already. But let's crack on here. What's that piece underneath? I've forgotten. I don't even remember putting a bonus part down there, but never mind. Bonus part on the hood is a lovely big old hood scoop on there. And then we should also have two hood lockers, one on this side and one on this side for there. In here is two air filters to go on all the hoses. We'll get them on later. I can't remember what's that. Oh, that's the spoiler. Oh, the spoiler sits so far. I've gone for an SUV wing spoiler. The positioning's very weird, sort of in the middle at the front. But that's that one on there. We'll get the air filters on a little bit later on once we got the engine and all the pipe work in. But that's the bodywork as it stands, looking pretty awesome. Now let's get into the paint shop and get some colours on and that beautiful livery. So here it is then, the livery we're going for today on our beautiful custom competition entry Dodge Charger. I've gone for this flames from the bottom effect with a few flaming skulls on there, one on either side, kind of where the ghoul would go for the actual ghoul livery, with a lovely flaming skull on the top there, and then obviously more flames from the underside and a bit more flaming on that bonnet. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. We are going for this matte finish on it today. I've already done all of this part, but I'll show you anyway. That's the details of what we've gone for, and then the details of what we've gone for the colour for the screws and bolts, including on the rims there as well. But obviously for the body, it's a slightly different variant because it's in a matte finish. Obviously as well, I've got to custom painted some of the parts you've already seen. I'm going to come out of this mode now because it's already fully painted and ready to go. As you can see, we've got that hood scoop in a matte black on there. The mirrors are also in a matte black. And then the hood vents, or whatever you want to call these bits, or the catches, the bonnet catches, they're in a metallic black, just giving them a bit of shine, because we are going to use a lot of that metallic on the underside. The spoiler is the only bit on the outside that's kept a little bit of green on it. I just quite liked it. I hadn't planned to. I'd planned to keep it all black, but it actually looks quite nice in that green as well. If we jump into the interior, we've got green on these beautiful seats looking fantastic, or steel black and green on these beautiful seats looking fantastic, and a bit of green on that steering wheel as well. We did also add some steel black to the rear bench just so it blends in a little bit better with the front seats, and it does also catch that little piece in there. But all in all, looking very good. The reason this car has a base colour of that matte green is because I wanted the engine bay to be completely green in there, looking absolutely fantastic. So when we build that engine, it's going to look beautiful. And I do like this engine bay. This rack sort of set here is where the fuse box goes, and all of these cable wire parts all in there, all the tubes, cables and all of that go into the ABS pumper module, which is why it is sat at that sort of funny angle there, like that, looking pretty cool. But there we go. That's the livery all done. I think it looks fantastic. Let's get this beast back on the lifter. Let's get everything else painted, make that engine look fantastic, and then start getting this beautiful Dodge Charger all back together, ready for you guys to give me a score out of 10 for the show car board. That's everything painted on the SRT black badge Dodge Charger and ready to go. You've seen a quick walk around there. Could just about see all the suspension for it. But let's get started and let's talk about this engine bay. Obviously, we've got our bonus parts on. We've got that one in a matte black and then these two in a shiny metallic black. We open it up in here. The fuse box, as you can see, sitting on that... Let's come out of that mode. As you can see, sitting on that bracket just there in a lovely carbon fibre on there. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I love the design of this engine bay. We've got the ECU just tucked in at the back there. We've got the brake servo tucked in at the back as well, fully painted black. The wishy-washy reservoir and the coolant reservoir are both blacked out. And then the radiator fan housing kit is in a matte... is in a carbon fibre matte, that's the words I was looking for, with green fans and then a bit of a green radiator just on the front there. The ABS pump and module is fully blacked out with our lovely green bolts. There's the first viewing of them today. And as you can see, all the little pipe work that just comes in from this engine bay does all fit into it. If I swing around to this side, you can just about see it all there. You've got a little bit of pipes just clipping through into that framework there. But it looks fantastic, and I am loving it. But let's now talk about the suspension. Most of it is in a metallic-y sort of shiny black. We've got a few bits of the steel black on there as well, mostly on the suspension arms where we wanted a little bit of green on them just to make it visible. But lots and lots of that shiny black. Then we've got some matte black on the shocks and stuff there. And it is all looking absolutely beautiful. With plenty of just little green accents, not too over the top with the green for this one. And I am loving it. I think it looks good at the front. Down at the back is very similar. Lots of that shiny black in the middle. Few bits of the matte black going on, mostly with the spring setup. And then lots of the metallic with lots of splashes of green with a fuel tank in a matte black and the fuel pump in a lovely little green. Lovely bright green brake calipers on this one today. So probably going to go for fully blacked out rims. We'll see that in a minute. But before that, let's go and build that supercharged V8. In we go. It's on the stand already. The oil pan, the block and the heads are all in a version of steel black. Except the heads and the block have got a little bit of green on them just to give us some accents, and the oil pan hasn't. We've got the oil filter just in a black and the fuel filter just in a black at the back there. And then inside our beautiful heads, we've got 2 camshafts, 4 spark plugs on each side, and then obviously 2 cam gears at the end with a lovely timing belt on there. No camshaft caps apparently for this one. Not required, although we should. It does look like we should have them, but they aren't required. Just the head goes straight on the top. So we'll sort that out in a minute. But for the moment, timing cover on there. You are in a, I think that's in a steel black on there, just to keep that all matched up. I do believe. I'm not 100% on that, but it's looking fantastic. Crankshaft pulley, we've gone for that metallic black on there. Same for the power steering pump on Yugo and the alternator. Just some of that shiny black just to show off the front of the engine there. All our idle rollers are in a beautiful green with a silvered out center for when the green bolts go on it when it's inside the car. So it'll be like green on green with a little bit of silver just spacing out a little bit, looking fantastic. But we've got to get all of these in, so let's get them in. One more to go there, and then we'll get that water pump in, which is in beautiful green just to finish it off, looking very nice with a black water pump pulley just on the top of it. That one is fully steel blacked out, just finishing it off, looking nice. We need to crack on though, can't put any more on there for the minute. So we got our supercharger intake manifold, which is in that shiny black, looking very, very nice. The supercharger on top of it, which is also in that shiny black. Everything's blacked out on this build, looking fantastic. Now we can get our belts on. That's in the matte black on there, and the other belt's also in a matte black with the belt tensioner just in that metallic black on there. And then the last idle roller, again, in that beautiful little green, looking lovely. Nipping on around to the engine head covers. As I said, no camshaft caps, just straight onto the head covers. They are in grey. That's the grey base I've used for my carbon fibre. So we've got some carbon fibre heads on there. Looking nice. Let's get you all bolted up. And then we can get the ignition coils in. And a few other bits left to go on this beautiful, beautiful engine. The coils are just in a green, but they're going to sit under a cover. So it doesn't really matter anyway. So we'll just get that one on. And then the coil covers are in that beautiful green. Over to this side, we've got the fuel rail looking nice in that green. And then a throttle on the top in steel black and green, just to give it a little bit of splash of colour on there, looking very nice. And then the last thing to go last thing to go on is this beautiful exhaust manifold in the shiny metallic black, and the rest of the exhaust and all of the piping will also be in that colour as well. So let's crack on. I'm just going to get round and get this other side all finished off, and then we can get this beautiful engine dropped into the car. There we go. It is all finished now, looking beautiful, mostly in black. Lots of splashes of green on there. I think it's going to look great when we throw it into the car. Fingers crossed on that one. We got a little bit of pipe work to go in there as well. So let's get it all dropped in. Engine cranes by the car. Let's get it dropped in and see how good this engine looks inside that engine bay. Specifically made the engine bay green so that we could do a mostly black engine in there. And I think that is looking absolutely fantastic. Loving that in there. Don't even know to go in the photo mode. Just a big black and green block sticking out from the top, and then all them green bolts in it. Really finish it off. But before we crack on, we've got all of that beautiful pipe work to go in. So let's get started with that. All of these bits of pipe here are available from Multy's pipe parts, available on Nexus mods to go with TKAftermarket. Make sure you read all the instructions to get all of that installed in properly if you want to play around with this. You can do full custom exhaust. We'll get to that in just a second, but it all looks beautiful in that shiny metallic black. But we do have one more thing just to go on the end of these beautiful pipes, and that is a couple of bonus parts. I think we should go to this side so we can see them a little bit better. So let's get them in. Additional parts, bonus parts. We've got two here. Both of them just lovely little air filters just sat on the end of them pipe works, ready to go into that intake for the supercharger there. Beautiful. I'm loving that. I think the pipe work on that looks absolutely fantastic. Let's crack on, though. What do I want to do? Oh, we need to do the rest of the exhaust. So to do that, we need to go back into normal mode and into the engine bay. Unfortunately, all of these pipes only work from the engine bay, so we'll come back and do the exhaust tips in just a second. But let's get the rest of these exhaust parts all in here, ready to all connect up. Again, I've just done this sort of like straight pipe through the middle, fanning out at the end, looking beautiful, and going into the predetermined tips on the back of this beautiful Dodge Charger. We'll see them again in just a second. I can just get all of this pipe work in. There you go. One there. Is there two there? I think there is. There's another one just there. Now, unfortunately, you do have to do this from the engine bay, but it is what it is. I'm sure a fix will come out a little bit later on. If we now go around, you can see that's the actual tips for the car sticking out the end, and then my pipes just obviously sneak into them, make it look like they're all connected and being absolutely fantastic. But now we get it up in the air, we can get the gearbox in, the last bits of the exhaust, and that starter, as well as a lovely drive shaft. So in with the gearbox, in you go in the steel black with a tiny splash of green just there. Not too visible, but we'll call it as it is. Then the starter in here is in the shiny metallic black, obviously lovely green bolts on there. And then our front exhaust sections, obviously performance parts, but just, again, in that shiny metallic black, looking beautiful on the underside. Our drive shaft that does clip through our fuel tank a little bit, but we're just glossing over that one, is just in the steel black and green, looking very, very, very nice. I'm loving that. I think it looks fantastic. And that's it, apart from the wheels, which we'll come to in just a minute. So let's take a walk out from the underside of this car. We'll go into photo mode, I guess. Slightly better view, if I could learn how to control it. He says. we'll go all the way down. We won't go that far down, not through the floor. And then you can just see plenty of black coming up through there. Shiny metals, looking good. Bit of green as well. Absolutely loving that. I think that looks fantastic on the underside. Very, very pleased with that one. What do you all think? I think it looks beautiful. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. Let's get it back down, though. We've got to sort out this window tint. So let's get this hood closed so we can at least see the windshield. And let's get on with all of our tint ready to go for this beautiful Dodge. This is our show car build, so don't forget, we do need a wonderful score out of 10. Leave it in the comments below, and we'll get it added to the show car board. Right, onto the windshield. What are we reckoning? This can be as dark as we want it because, well, we're not racing it today. So we're going to go pretty dark on there. Do we actually go for a bit of green? Maybe not too bright. Is the bit of green? Do you reckon the bit of green tint on the windows would be too much? What do you think? I personally think it's too much. Maybe we could just bring it down a little bit so it's just like a subtle green tint, but then the windows aren't really tinted. No, we're going to go with black. We're going to go back up, I reckon, not 80. I reckon 70 is a bit too dark. We will still want to be able to see like the seats and stuff through the front windscreen. So we'll go with 60 for the windshield. On you go. The rest of the parts all the way around, they can all be at 100%. So let's just get all of that going. Front left door window, that doesn't want to be 100%. That wants to be see-through. Right door window, that also wants to be see-through. And then as we go around, rear door, that can be at 100%. Rear left door, that can also be at 100%. What else have we got? Rear bumper. And we do have some black markers on these, and I don't think I want them. So we're going to black that one out. Out you go there. What else have we got? The headlights, I'm going to leave them. They've got their green halos in them, so we'll leave them as they are. We go back around to the tail lights. If we black these out, is it going to be too much? What about if we just gently black them out? No, I think I'm going to leave the red stripe on the main stuff. But that little trunk tail light, I think I am just going to black that one out. Get rid of as much as we can. So we'll keep the red on that. And the rest of the other, little bits will be all blacked out on there. I think that's looking good. Is that everything? That is everything. So we'll come out of that. We'll just see how dark that window tint is, even though it doesn't actually really matter because we're not driving it today. Oh, it's not that dark anyway. Probably could have raced in this one as it was, especially on the drag strip. But there we go. That's that all done. Let's get that put away. And then we just need to decide some wheels. So I'm going to get on with that. Decide what wheels we're going to put on. We'll get them painted, get them assembled, and get them on the car. I've gone for rim 1A today. It is one of my favourite rims. We have used it quite often on this channel. But let's get on and get some colour onto them. We're going to go for the green base. And then we're going to go into the quality of life mod. And we're going to go over to steel black and see what we can do with this beautiful rim. On you go. Now, I just want a tiny little splash of green. Kind of like we've got a little splash of green everywhere else. So let's see what our options are. Everything is obviously black. Then we got mixed 1, which is green around the outside. And then black in the centre part. Mix 2 is fairly blacked out with the little green bolts. I am quite liking that, especially if we got these going green as we have on the paint scheme at the moment. Number 3 is the same as number 1. Number 4 is the same as number 2. And paint and mix is also the same as number 4 and 2 on there. I think that's what we're going to go for with the green little tips around. Especially I'm hoping these go green when we get them on the car. So we'll get that painted. On we go. That's what we're going to go for the rims. And now we're going to add a little bit of colour to the tyres as well. There we go. Beautiful Toyo tyres. Thanks to Payne and his Patreon. Subscribe to Payne over on his Patreon to get this one. It is DeadBob777. Just search for that on Patreon. Easy to find. And you can get access to this lovely tyre pack with some additional tyres. Thanks again to the TKAftermarket mod. But anyway, let's get on. I just want to put a bit of green on these and see how this works. So we're going to go into that. Go to our little water droplet. And then using the quality of life mod, available on Nexus, link in the description below, we're just going to add some green to it. Everything kind of works. Mixed 1 also kind of works, and that doesn't. So we're going to go, I think we'll just go for everything on there and give our tyres this lovely little green text on there. I think it's going to look fantastic with our black and green rims. Let's get them rims all together. Let's get them on the car. Just balancing the last rim now. Looking fantastic, I think, as they were going together at least anyway. Can't really see the green bolts at the moment, but they definitely do show up on the car. I've got the other side ones on already. So let's get these on and see what they look like. So for the backs, you need a 21-inch rim with a 335 width, a 30 profile, and ET of a 20 on there. Now, it isn't the size that says it comes on the car. It says it's 345 with a 30 profile, a 20-inch rim. Sorry, a 21-inch rim. And it would be ET of 10 from base. But if you're going to use a deep dish rim to stop it clipping with the brake caliper, you need ET of 20 and just bring the tyre width just in ever so slightly. So if you're using normal rims, use the same size that it says on the car, which is 345 30 21 with ET of 10 on there. Same ET on the front as well. But if you're using deeper dish rims and you've got the bigger brake calipers, you need ET of 20 and slightly narrower on the tyre. Same again for the front. So we get these ones on. There's a rim 1A and it's 255 width, 30 profile, 21-inch rim with ET of 20. But if you're doing it with slightly bigger profile tyres, you go 265 width. Sorry, slightly less inset rims. You go 265 width and no ET or ET of 10 on there instead of ET of 20. But there we go. Just about not clipping with the brake calipers. Looking absolutely fantastic. I love them rims. They look beautiful. Thank you to everybody, the members, for signing up and helping me choose the rims on our official Discord server for us here playing, where I will also share this beautiful config and livery when I'm finished at the end of this video. By the time you see this video going live, if you were to sign up to the members for $2.99 a month, become a member of the VM Garage Club, where I do share all my custom builds, custom configs. You do need to subscribe to the mods I've suggested today. For example, all their pipework mods to get this one. But apart from that, this config will become available to you through my Discord, along with the livery as well. So if you want this one, hit the join button below. It's $2.99 a month. And thank you very much to all the current members currently in there who probably already have access to this beautiful Dodge Charger by the time you see this video. But there we go. It's all finished. Just need to get the liquids topped up and get this beautiful Dodge Charger outside in the sun. Just a couple more pieces left to go for the SRT Black Badge. Beautiful car. Obviously, these lovely license plates. Off you come. And we've gone for SRT Black on our license plate today for the Black Badge edition with this beautiful livery. I absolutely love the livery. If you guys aren't here for it, I totally understand. It is one of them ones that is a little bit over the top. And it is just one of them things. I think it looks beautiful. But I have been playing Skull and Bones. And the Season 1 of Skull and Bones is very green and black, with La Peste as the main enemy on there. Anyway, so that was kind of my little bit of my inspiration. We got skulls, we've got flames. It is looking wonderful. I think it's absolutely beautiful. What do you think? Do let me know in the comments below, as well as giving it a cheeky little score out of 10, so we can see where this one's going to end up in the show car board. Will it knock any of our top 4 out of their places? Will it come in the 5th spot and not go outside? You decide by giving it a score out of 10 in the comments. But let's jump inside and see what this beautiful car sounds like. Loving the interior in here. Let's just get in and see what that supercharged V8 sounds like. We have all heard it before. Obviously, there's the classic tick over. Let's just give it some gas. You just get that little bit of the whistle from the supercharger at the top end. Not a whistle like that, but just it's got a little bit of a whine to it. You know what a supercharger sounds like. I think it sounds fantastic. But I know a lot of people aren't happy with the engine sounds in this game. They are all a bit the samey, but that's just what you get. It's a game at the end of the day. We can't put straight pipes on everything and make them super loud. Would be awesome if we could, though. But anyway, let's get this beast onto the dyno, see what its horsepower is and what its drag rating would be. On the dyno then, with the SRT Black Badge supercharged Dodge Charger, pumping out 766 factory horsepower. How much have we increased it by today? And what will its drag rating be? Let's have a look. A gain of 954 horsepower, 125%. Absolutely fantastic. I love to see that. 1,719 horsepower from this absolute beast. Loving this car with a drag rating of 862. I'm not going to lie, I did expect that one to be a little bit higher, if we're being truly honest, but it is what it is. Still a fantastic build, and obviously we're not racing this. This is one of our show car builds, so I just need a score out of 10 so we can get it onto the show car board. But let's have a look at our gearbox tune. Obviously, again, not racing it, so I've pretty much just left it as it is. I've changed the ratio down to 333 just to give it around 75k or 74 kilometers an hour in first gear, up to 347 in fifth gear. But again, we're not racing it, so we're not going to see that one. We do have a fully tuned Stage 3 ECU, giving us 16% additional tuning, and you can watch the short of how to easily do that every time in the top right corner, or there's a link in the description, along with a link on how to do the carburetor tuning perfectly every time as well down there. So if you want to see both of them, go and check them out. Both short videos, less than a minute each, nice and easy to watch, and hopefully nice and easy to follow. But there we go. That's enough of this. Let's get this beast back outside in the sun and see if we would be able to sell this one on for a profit if we were going to sell it. All finished with the SRT8 Black Badge, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful. What do you think? let me know in the comments below, as well as giving it a score out of 10 so we can get it onto the show car board. And do you want access to this config and livery? Well, there is only one way. You have to sign up to the VM Garage Club or Garage Club, £2.99 a month, where you help support me in creating wonderful videos if that's what you want to do. But also you do get access to the configs and liveries I create through the Discord server, where I post them all for you to use if you want to. £2.99 a month definitely helps me out quite a huge amount. So if you can hit that button, it is definitely helpful. But if you can't, just continue supporting me by watching the content as you are currently doing. So thank you very much to all the channel members, absolute legends. And if you do want access, click that join button below. But now let's talk some facts and figures about this beautiful, beautiful car. We bought the car for $39,689 at the very beginning of the episode and could have sold it at a loss of $1,270, but we didn't do that. We spent a further $91,460 upgrading, tuning, modifying and painting this beautiful car to how you see it in front of you today. It looks absolutely beautiful, but it puts our total spend at $131,149. Is there some money to be made if we were going to sell this beautiful car? There is only one way to find out. Let's get in and let's take a look. Well, there she is, all 100% complete, looking fantastic. 162,000 kilometers on this one, and that V8 supercharged engine from 766 horsepower tuned all the way up to 1,719. 125% power increase from this one. Absolutely fantastic. Loving it. But we did spend 131,149 to get there. Would there be some money to be made if we were to sell it? Yes. Yes, there would. With a sale price of $209,884, leaves us $78,735 profit if we were to sell it. But we're obviously not going to do that one. I need you guys to give me a score out of 10 so we can get this one onto the show car board and see if it's going to end up at least in the top 4 in one of these spots up here. But if not, still in that top 10. Hopefully looking fantastic. So do leave me a score out of 10. I will add them all together, get the average score or the base score, whichever you want to work that one out to be, and we'll get it onto the show car board. Not in the next episode, for the episode after that is when we'll do it, to give you time to vote and watch this video if you haven't already seen it. But anyway, that's enough of this beautiful SRT Black Badge Dodge Charger. Don't forget to head over and vote on the official Red Dot Games Discord server for who is your favourite for this round of competition. Hopefully it's mine, and if you do think so, get in there and give it a cheeky little vote. But if not, just vote for whichever one is your favourite. I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy taking part. It's not always about winning. It's about the fun in the meantime. But anyway, what have we got coming up next? Well, this is the beautiful Nissan GT-R from Lit. And around Christmas time, he did update it with the 2024 models. So that's what we've gone for this one. One of the new models, we've gone for the Nismo 2024 edition for this beautiful GT-R. It's got a bit of a facelift, looking a little bit different. I did add the junkyard to the where it can be found so that we could get it at the bad auction house, so we could get it a little less quality, so we had some actual work to do putting this car back together. So normally when you get it, this version's only available in the salon, at the auction or the barn, which means it's only available from the good auction house. You have to add junkyard to get it from the bad auction house. So I've already done that for mine, so we've already got it from there, the bad auction house, and it's not in that bad condition. We've definitely seen worse. But did I get a good deal? I did. I actually did, and quite a good deal as well. 84,469 is what we paid, and we could already sell it for 93,798, making 9,329 before we even begin. That doesn't happen often, but I'm always happy when it does. The engine in this one is the V6 double overhead cam VR38DE pumping out 642 factory horsepower. We will be taking this one around the racetrack. We haven't been on the racetrack for a little while, so we're going to take this beautiful Nismo around the racetrack in the next episode. It's going to be awesome. That's what we're going to be doing next Monday, so make sure you join us back here then for this beautiful 2024 Nismo Nissan GT-R. What did you think of my Dodge Charger? Do leave me a score out of 10 in the comments below. Leave a cheeky little like if you enjoyed the video, and double check you are subscribed. And if you think someone else might enjoy it, click that share button and let them know that you think this is a cool build made by me. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you always to the channel members. Click that join button below if you want access to the config and liveries, and just genuinely just to help support me in becoming a VM YouTube channel. I don't know. Car Mechanic Simulator YouTube channel. We'll go with that one. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a beautiful day, whatever it is you're getting up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for Virtual Mechanic.